Some couple of days ago, certain individuals they came out and they said that May Edochie Aligwe does not have right to her children the way she claims she has the right to them. Like, I really do not understand this. Unless it has been stated and proved that either of the parent have mental issues or their association with their children will put their life at risk, put the life of the children at risk. Unless that can be established, there is nowhere that it says or states that a man or a woman who is up and doing cannot have access to their children. Now, May's legal team swung into action, and we are going to address it. We are going to hear from May's legal team on this one. Because a lot of people are wondering why the divorce between May and Yul Edochie has dragged this long, considering the public and the disgrace, if I want to put it that way. But let's just round it all up here. Let's round it all up. The public show of Yul Edochie and Judy Austin. Both of them, obviously, together in a relationship or marriage. Now, let us get the opinion. Let us listen to what the legal team of May is saying on this. Before I proceed, like and share, tap on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Very important. Very important. And to those who have tapped on the thanks button, I say a very big thank you to you. May God replenish your pocket. If you want to, you can as well tap on that button. Here, it says, the case of May Yul Edochie. What is all this confusion over paternity test about? I woke up this morning to see so many messages in my inbox asking questions or making all manner of assumption about paternity test on the children of Yul Edochie and Judy Austin. I have to make this post for the purpose of responding and preempting those questions. I do so based on what we know about the case. I hope this will quieten the tensions and speculations and people can rest. Please note that I did not speak with May before making this post as I like to be solely responsible for my post. May is not asking for paternity test on Judy's children. 1. Once May decided to end the marriage, the issue of the paternity of Judy's children is no longer relevant. Our main ground for seeking divorce is adultery, which was open and notorious. Though both Yul and Judy denied that they were married, they did not deny that they had an affair that produced a child called Star. So adultery is easy to prove. That is all May needed as ground for divorce and as ground for damages against Judy. If May gets a divorce, Judy's children will not be her stepchildren. So she has no further interest in the biological paternity of Judy's children. In a counterfactual argument, one could ask, what if those children are not Yul's biological children? That will be immaterial to May's pursuit. If Yul claims those children, then he is their father. After all, he has a right to adopt any child as his own child. Now, I've said this several times, during previous analysis that Yul Edochie can as well be the father of whoever. He can be the father of many nations. It is his, that's his business. That is his business. 2. It was in the beginning of this problem when it looked like just a case of a married man mistakenly impregnating a side chick that May would have requested a paternity test on Star. At that time, she thought the marriage could be saved. Then, Yul himself had apologized to May and described his affair with Judy Austin as a mistake. and promised it would not go beyond what happened. May, being a kind and considerate person, was prepared to forgive a repentant and remorseful husband. At that time, she would have wanted to make sure that Joel was the biological father. However, Joel took things several steps further by declaring Judy his second wife and trying to get May to accept polygamy. Now, I'm sure you guys now understand how these things got to where it got to. If Edochie had stopped at that time, well, maybe their marriage would not be as it used to be in those days. He apologized, but if he had stopped, if he did not go further, maybe his marriage would have been salvaged. Well, May refused and wanted an end to the marriage, and at that point, she wouldn't care who Yo calls his children or not. Once a man is no longer your husband, it shouldn't matter to you who his biological children from other women are, as you will have no relationship with such children. 3. I'm not ruling out the responsibility that, depending on the progress of the case, a situation may arise where the paternity of Judy's children might become important. As things are, it is not all that important now. May is not doubting that Joel is the father of those children, so it is not in her interest to call for a paternity test. That will be like doubting your own premise. May's case is stronger if they are his biological children, because that will be additional evidence of adultery. But Joel and Judy are not denying that they are the parents of the children. In law, there is no need to make an extra move to prove a fact that has been admitted by the parties. Now, what is May seeking to get from the court? 1. She's looking for the solution of the marriage, custody of her children and child support from Joel, a share of their marital properties, and damages from Judy for the adultery that upturned a marriage. I am confident that she has excellent chances of success in all she's asking for. This is a family court, after all. 2. From the point of view of the law, this case is not as complicated as many people think. Yes, on the emotional angle, this is a very big case. One of the most dramatic stories about marriages, love, and betrayal in Nigeria in this decade, if not in the entire history of modern Nigeria. It is a creeping story that I expect will ultimately result in many movies and novels. It is a classic story of the ironies of love and marriages. It is also an epic story of the rise and fall of a star. It is comparable to any other story of love, tragedy, whether it is of the story of Samson and Delilah, or the story of Macbeth, or the story of King Ahab and Queen Jezebel. For us to further understand why this is taking long, Edochie is sort of stalling it, Now, it is a story that marked a turning point in the cultural war over gender equality in Nigeria, especially among the Igbos people. Whether men or women are equal, and whether a man could just do whatever he likes, as Yul attempted to do. 3. In this story, if you are deep in thinking, you must ask yourself, what led Yul to this catastrophe? Yul understood that, he understood what he was doing, and he knew that this was something men would frown upon. But as a result of his upbringing and a false sense of self-worth, he thought he could do whatever he liked. He thought he had become so famous as a star, the Odogu, that the society would not question or punish him for whatever he did. He assumed that he had the capacity to change the mood, feelings of society. He thought he could reset the standard of social acceptability of whatever he did. He must have been shocked to see the degree of disapproval and rejection of his actions. Now, I'm going to pause a bit. If Edochie was extremely rich, his sins based on the norms in Nigeria, now, as at this moment, there will be less backlash. His sins will be forgiven. Yeah, the sins of Edochie will be forgiven. See, there's a difference between being famous and rich. There's a difference between being famous and rich together. You see, Edochie is famous, is not rich. And being famous, it's not a currency for you to buy the heart of people or to be loved. We've seen countless people, numerous people. In fact, Edochie himself quickly tried to compare himself to David Adeleke, Nigerian singer called Davido. He tried to compare himself to him when he had his own, some ladies somewhere said he got them pregnant here and there, all over France, the US and all of that. You see, he quickly tried to compare himself. He didn't understand the timing. He didn't understand what appeals to people now. Extravagant display of wealth, money. That's what the time is now. This is the era for it as we speak. People will forgive you as long as you are rich, extremely rich, and also you have these open palms. You give. You've bought their hearts. And they say, there is a saying, once the mouth eats, the eyes will see less. That's how it is. That's how it is. So Edochie didn't fit into this. He only banked on his popularity in his small circle. Odogu, the champion. The best thing in life is for you to reevaluate yourself. I'm not saying look down upon yourself. Always see yourself as a great person, of course. See yourself as someone who can perform, who can do, but do not deceive yourself that you are all-knowing, that you are so strong, you are so powerful, and that you can do and undo. The same people who applauded you today will boo you tomorrow. That's just what it is. Do not see yourself as no one can stop me. Nobody can block me. And you are not working towards them not blocking you or stopping you. You just believe once they hear my voice, that's it. That's all. Once they see my face, nothing more. Maybe for some time, but you need to keep working because there are people who want to pull you down. Well, I don't know what you guys think of this one. This is serious. This is serious. The truth is this. For the sake of humanity, not because we are perfect. Many people thought we have been paid to support May. Yeah, she is the name behind that, image. Behind that person. Her name is May. That's the name behind it. That's why May this, Queen May that and that. But we are talking about humanity. We didn't say polygamy is a big issue. Not at all. We only said the process Edochie went about it. Imagine, he went about it as if that culture of men are too important in the southeast of Nigeria where Edochie is from. Men. I understand the reason why such tradition or culture or laws were placed down back then. I do understand why. But we live in a different era. Men work same as women work. Women are doing things, not like back in those days where women are left to stay to tend to the kids and the man is the one that goes to the farm or is an artisan or whatever it is that he does. He comes home. So, when you have female children, you expect them to go do the same thing, repeat the same thing in their husband's house. You don't want your daughter to take to another man's house your own sweat. That's where this came from. In the southeast, it is not the same in the southwest. In the southwest, all fingers are equal. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. Why? Because the circumstances, events in that particular part is different from that of the southeast. And those that came up with that policy or law in the southeast are not the same people in the Southwest. Now, let us go back to the Bible, the Jewish people back in those days. Am I going to call them Jewish people? When were they called Jews? When did they start comparing? Okay, these people are Jews. Let us just go back. There was a time also that Moses had to change the law because God told him, and because those women fought. They were only ladies, and their father passed away, and certain people thought they can hijack their father's property and cows and all of his belongings. No, they said no. We must inherit our father too. We must take. Now, this is not even a case where men and women, are kind of like, oh, I'm the father, I'm the man of the house, I must take everything. No, it was a case where women stood up to fight for their right. And God said, they've stood up. If they didn't fight, back then it's a patriarchal system. It will remain that way. But they fought. They said, no, enough is enough. That's it. Enough is enough. That's it. So that idea of, oh, we cannot allow what we've worked for as a man to go to our daughters because they are going to attach that to the man, let the man also do his own. The only thing you can do is to try as much as possible that your daughters, they marry from a respectable family, and also maybe from at least wealthy or influential family. The first is respectable family, a family that their characteristics are not that of vampires and wicked people, senseless people. At least you will know you are matching up. At least. I'm not saying that is everybody must now marry from influential family. No, it's not like that. So if that is what you think, well, you can as well work towards that. And that does not guarantee your daughter's happiness. But saying no, my daughter should not take anything from, because doesn't make sense. Everyone should. She will decide. The only thing you can do is, oh, this property cannot be sold by, there are ways you can go around it to make sure that the man, let's say he's a jobless man, lay about, you don't know why your daughter loves this man so much, and you give property to her and she sells, the man manipulates her to sell so that they can spend it, and that's it. In such a situation, you know what to do. So, I don't know what you guys think of this one. Because somehow we can as well say that May was a peaceful woman and still a peaceful woman, dutiful wife. She supported her husband, allowed him freedom to pursue his career. Even if this meant many travels and absence from home, she gave all she had to the marriage and family. If she cheated here and there, that we do not know. Edochie is the one insinuating this. We don't know about that, and there are no evidence to that. Now, during all of this, my husband must shine. May's huge talents were unknown because she placed her marriage above her talents and what she could do. Now, she was betrayed. She was taken advantage of. Now, like any other person, she was shocked, she was broken to pieces, but she didn't do like some other women. She rose up. And it is not just the break of the marriage. She even lost her son. That's called double tragedy. All on one person. All on one person. Now, despite all of these tragic events, she persevered. She continued. She stood up. She pushed. She kept on. She gained strength. She emerged. She rose up from that position on the floor, laying down there. She rose up on her knees and stood up on her feet, kept moving, pressing, pushing. So, what else She has done what she needs to do. She is now above or far away from you, Edochie's Anki Panky. What do you guys think of this one? Drop your comment, like, and share. See you in the next update.